Good day, everybody. So in this video, I wanted to address certain land claims that exist around the world. And specifically recently, we've seen some rather serious uh, border conflicts that have led to, in some cases, all-out war, such as the war between Eritrea and Ethiopia that left tens of thousands of people dead on both sides. And the land that was at question again is incredibly sparse that one could argue what is the worth? What is the worth of Badme? I don't know. It it definitely was worth something because a lot of people lost their lives over it. But we can say that one nation has claim to another nation's land. But what we can absolutely say is possession is the ultimate authority. And unfortunately, if you go back to the very beginning of time, the Earth, the political mapping of the planet looks a lot different now than it did, say, 1,000 years ago. Looks a lot different than it did 50, 100 years ago. Tremendously different. So just because a claim exists, such as here, Ethiopia may claim to own this land or have claims against it. But ultimately, who is able to possess it? And you can look at that and say, well, that's wrong, but at the end of the day, force, the ability to project power and assert those claims through possession, is the ultimate arbitrator. If we go back to the 1930s Germany, the German border that existed then extended all the way to what is now Kaliningrad. That was Königsberg, and this was East Prussia, predominantly made up of Germanic peoples. But through military conflict, the Germans were unable to maintain possession. So Germany looks like this now. But back to these ongoing issues such as the Crimea. The Crimea was handed over to the Ukraine by Nikita Khrushchev. But in 2014, the Ukrainians could not maintain possession, and the Russians took control of it based on their claim. So again, possession became the ultimate arbitrator. Now, if Ukraine would like that land back, well, it's going to have to do something about it. It's going to have to assert its possession through possibly military force. Or maybe it buys it back. I don't know. But ultimately, who possesses what is going to be the ultimate arbitrator. And I think that is what's going to happen along the Sudanese-Ethiopian border. If kind of on the military subject side of it, I I believe that the Khartoum-based government of Sudan is going to be a much bigger fish to fry than Eritrea was. Unfortunately, the Ethiopians did not get very far in the prosecution of said conflict with Eritrea. I think that quite possibly a lot of people living in Eritrea would be better off not under the brutal foot of Afwerki. It is a very secretive state, and if Ethiopia could have prosecuted that war and would have been able to bring down that government at the same time, I think it probably would have been in Ethiopia's best interest to attempt to seize the port of Assab. Ethiopia is now landlocked. It is a very large country with a very large population, and to be landlocked like that is incredibly challenging. Given the increase in populations that we see, especially in Ethiopia, I would say that if we look forward 100 years, I believe Ethiopia probably will not be a landlocked country. But that's going to take action. That is going to take possessing said claim.